$28 million from Nike, responsible for over a quarter of the WNBA's entire economic activity. At 23 years old, Caitlin Clark has done something nobody thought possible. She forced the world to care about women's basketball, but the real reason she's changing everything isn't what you think. Iowa City, 2020. A freshman guard steps onto the court with range that defies physics. Over 4 years, Clark shattered every expectation. She became the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I basketball history, men's and women's combined. She surpassed Pete Maravich's legendary record. Her shooting range was absurd, casually draining threes from 30 feet out. She made 84 three-pointers from beyond 25 feet during her college career. Most players don't even attempt shots from that distance. In 2024, the championship game between Iowa and South Carolina averaged 18.7 million viewers, peaking at 24 million. First time ever, a women's final drew more viewers than the men's championship. The most-watched basketball game in NCAA history, all because of her. Then came the 2024 WNBA draft. The broadcast pulled 2.45 million viewers, shattering records by over 400%. Clark was selected first overall by the Indiana Fever, a franchise that had been failing for years. The cameras flashed, celebrations happened, and then everyone saw her contract. $76,535. That was her annual salary for being the most hyped prospect in women's basketball history. Meanwhile, the NBA's #1 pick that year, Zachary Rissacher, signed for $12.6 million in his first season alone. The disparity sparked a national conversation, but Clark didn't seem bothered. Why would she be? While the WNBA offered $76 grand, Nike stepped in with $28 million over 8 years. Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson Sporting Goods. Everyone wanted in. By end of 2024, Clark earned an estimated $11 million from endorsements. Her WNBA salary, 1% of her total earnings. The league wasn't paying her what she was worth, but the market absolutely was. The Fever's 2024 season started as a disaster. 1 win, 8 losses. Critics prepared the overhyped narratives. Clark committed 10 turnovers in her debut, 1 shy of the single-game record. Then something clicked. The Fever finished 2020, clinching their first playoff berth since 2016. Clark shattered the single-season assist record with 337. Her 19 assists in 1 game demolished a 20-year-old record. She made 122 threes, most ever by a rookie. She became the first rookie since 2008 to record a triple-double, then did it again. She had 761 points, setting the rookie scoring record. Named all WNBA first team, first rookie since Candace Parker in 2008. Rookie of the Year should have been unanimous. 66 of 67 voters chose Clark. 1 anonymous voter picked Angel Reese, sparking yet another controversy. The real story wasn't just court performance. It was what she did to the league's bottom line. Fever home games averaged 17,035 fans in 2024. An all-time WNBA record the year before, just over 4,000. That's a 300% increase. Every single WNBA team saw attendance improve. League-wide, highest average since 1999, 4 teams moved home games against the Fever to larger NBA arenas because normal venues couldn't handle demand. The 2024 season averaged 1.2 million viewers, most watched ever. Of 24 WNBA games that drew at least 1 million viewers, 21 featured Clark. 6 networks all recorded their most-watched WNBA game ever because of her. A finance professor analyzed her economic impact and concluded Clark was responsible for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity in 2024. Everything: merchandise, TV deals, sponsorships. When he projected 2025, he arrived at a valuation approaching $1 billion. 1 player, $1 billion. But every revolution has resistance. The rivalry with Angel Reese started in April 2023 during the NCAA championship. Reese's LSU destroyed Clark's Iowa 102-85, and Reese celebrated with a "you can't see me" gesture directly at Clark. The moment went viral. Women's basketball suddenly had a villain and hero. March 2024, they met again in the Elite Eight. Clark dropped 41 points and 12 assists, eliminating LSU. Both were drafted in 2024. Clark first, Reese seventh to Chicago. Their first pro meeting in June turned ugly. Chicago guard Chennedy Carter hip-checked Clark to the floor, and cameras caught Reese jumping off the bench. Celebrating, Reese refused the mandatory press conference, fined $1,000. She claimed death threats and racist messages followed. The two most watched WNBA games of 2024, both Fever versus Sky matchups. The 2025 season opener escalated further. Clark committed a flagrant foul on Reese, knocking her down. Reese tried to confront Clark before teammates separated them. The league investigated alleged racist fan comments, though nothing was proven. Pat McAfee called Clark a white bitch superstar on air before apologizing. Clark finally addressed it, saying the rivalry felt manufactured, but the damage was done, and the WNBA kept scheduling them together because everyone knew what it meant for ratings. The hate came from within the league, too. Team USA's Olympic roster for 2024 didn't include Clark. Veterans were chosen over the rookie saving their league. The backlash was massive. Throughout the season, Connecticut's Dijanai Carrington accidentally poked Clark in the eye. Both acknowledged it was unintentional, but Carrington received death threats anyway. Multiple black players reported harassment connected to Clark's fan base, even though Clark never encouraged it. The WNBA launched No Space for Hate at the start of 2025. Acknowledging the league's growth came with a dark side. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert tried leaning into controversy, suggesting rivalry was good for business. Players pushed back. Clark was stuck in the middle, blamed for toxicity she didn't create. Heading into 2025, Clark was the betting favorite for MVP, a second-year player favored over Aja Wilson, who just won her fourth MVP. The hype was suffocating. Clark opened with her third career triple-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists in a blowout. Through 4 games, averaging 19 points and league-leading 9.3 assists. Then disaster struck. May 24th, during a game against New York, Clark strained her left quadriceps. The injury kept her out for weeks. By season's end, she'd played just 13 of 41 games. The question wasn't whether the Fever would struggle, it was whether the entire WNBA could maintain momentum. Early signs suggested no. Ratings dipped, attendance cooled. Her absence proved how much the league relied on her. Here's what everyone misses about Caitlin Clark changing women's basketball. It's not the records or billion-dollar impact. It's what she proved. For decades, the excuse was always the same. People just aren't interested in women's sports. Clark obliterated every excuse in one season. She proved that with the right talent on the right stage, people will show up. The WNBA Players Union saw what she did and immediately opted out of their collective bargaining agreement, demanding salaries reflecting actual revenue. The league is negotiating a new media rights deal worth $2.2 billion over 11 years, triple the current amount. In August 2025, she became the first female athlete with a multi-year Stanley partnership. Wilson Sporting Goods made her the first athlete since Michael Jordan with a signature basketball collection. Her Nike deal includes a signature shoe that's already generating massive buzz. Iowa still sells out games even though she's gone. The real reason Clark is changing women's basketball forever isn't because she's the most talented ever. It's because she arrived exactly when women's sports needed someone to prove the doubters wrong. She forced casual fans who never cared about the WNBA to pay attention. She made networks scramble for more broadcasts. She made sponsors open their wallets. She made young girls believe they could be next. And she did it while navigating racial tension, manufactured rivalry, and crushing pressure. Love her or hate her, one thing is undeniable. The doors she kicked open will never close. Every female athlete who comes after will benefit from her blueprint. She proved women's sports can dominate headlines, sell out arenas, and generate massive revenue when given the platform. The uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say: Clark didn't just change women's basketball. She exposed how much potential was wasted for decades because the sports world refused to invest in women the way they invest in men. The talent was always there. The audience was always waiting. All it took was one player bold enough to demand the spotlight and skilled enough to deserve it. She didn't just play the game. She changed the entire conversation about what's possible.